In the United States, we did the first complete mitral valve repair in North America a couple weeks ago. Myself, my colleague Wally Niflong is here in this room, and Joe Elberry, who you all know from the minimally invasive coronary work. We did a trapezoidal resection of P2. We used 3 compression sutures to shrink down the posterior annulus. We interrupted the leaflet sutures. We put a figure of 8 to close the annulus, and we put 7 sutures in a 28 Cosgrove band, and it worked quite well with no leak in the mitral valve. And this is the first patient done in May, earlier this month. And basically this was a 69-year-old woman whose son was an orthopedic surgeon, which it helped a lot as far as the informed consent, because he was totally behind this technology. As you can see, these are the probes. So these are the arms going into the chest wall. It's a 5 to 6 centimeter incision. Here's the camera going into the incision. This is a suction device just to keep the atrium clear and free of blood. Put the chest tube in that side, and then there's the transthoracic cross clamp. Here's a little better picture of it in just a moment. And you can see Wiley and Joe setting up the device as the table side surgeons, and hopefully in time we'll be able to decrease this. I'm not sure you're going to need to have a surgeon right at the table, as long as the surgeon is close by. And this is me sitting at the console. Here are my surgeons. There's folks from the company. And basically, I think you can move this console a little bit closer, and in time, I set the whole setup, so to speak. So what I'm saying, I got on the pump, opened the atrium, and then moved over here, because I want to show that you're not going to have eventually to have 2 surgeons at the table, or it just won't work. And this is the patient with a large P2, and here we're resecting the P2, cutting the final cords there, closing the annulus. We use this type of homemade technology. We lowered this little fella down into the atrium and basically took each suture off and applied it to the annulus, back through the ring, and then tied the knot. Had a little trouble with suture management on this first case, but this was a way to get all the sutures into the chest simultaneously. You can see there's some sutures in the way. Here's a backhand suture just to show you the utility of the device, and taking a backhand suture to put in that that right fibrous trigon, or right commissure suture, I guess it was. And as you can see here, we're tying the knots on the annulus, tying the knots on the leaflet, putting the ring in. There's the final closure. I think Wiley's got an echo there. And this is our patient. This is a patient 4 days after surgery with her family. Her son runs an orthotics company, and then she has another son who's an orthopedic surgeon. So these are very intelligent people who understood the advancements that were being made, but I was very clear that if we had any problems, I'd move back and take care of her in my standard videoscopic way. But you got to go from up to the videoscopic, I think, before you can jump to the robotic. I think if you don't do those intermediate steps, you'll be in trouble. I think I'll stop right here. I'd like to show you a 3-minute, 2-minute clip, if that's okay, of the Da Vinci, of that case, and then we'll cut it off.